G'day, good morning, good evening. Thanks for listening. This is an agricultural and horticultural gardening show focusing on plant science, soil science, and microbiology. The information is fact-checked and for scientific and educational purposes and can be relied on. And the description holds all of the links for the papers or the websites discussed. And if you're already watching this back, fast forward until you see the screen change, then the show will have started. That means I'll be starting to share some slides and stuff on the topic, whatever the topic is, because I don't know the blooming topic. And if it's like last week, it's a short show, well, it'll just be a short show. It's okay. I'll give it another 70 seconds, wait for the cool chat folk to arrive. Like Genetic Memory Farms, he says, good evening, good peeps. I hope you all are safe and happy. I hope you all are too. At the Genetic Memory Farm. And so it's got 45 seconds to go. Ooh. 30 seconds to go. Interesting. 15 seconds. Well, that's interesting you say that. Lots of commercials that YouTube puts up, says Genetic Memory Farms. I click the button that says YouTube recommended, and they recommend you should put it because I don't get anything out of this, so I'd like to get a monetized stream, so at least I can get something. And yeah, at least I might tick over eventually because I like doing this plant science or science and microbiology stuff. It's fun for me. Oh, he goes on to say, have to wait through them all to get here. Ah, righto. Huh. Wow. Who knows, I might be getting more money. Hey, he's the American one. Hello, the American one. He says, g'day to everyone. And there's no topic today. So if you've got any suggestions you've heard that's we can make a topic out of, that would be good. Please put it in chat. I can go on to add that my uni started and that last week's course on environmental food and dairy microbiology was blooming awesome. They had it on agricultural microbes. That was the first start of it. Biofertilizers, the different interactions between the microbes and the phylosphere, the different areas above the roots, above the ground, where all the leaves and stuff are, how important it is for the different ones to interact. That was pretty cool. So I can make a show out of that down the track because there's heaps of interesting things that I liked, so I'd like to share that with you cool folk too. And we've started, so I don't know what today's topic is. Oh, here we go. Genetic Memory Farm says, I think your other channel. Yeah, I hope so, mate. Yeah, they're fun as. Fair income. It's should be doing lives there, shouldn't I? Thanks for your input. And if anyone can suggest anything that I can show some slides on, that would be pretty cool. Because at the moment, I don't know what really to talk about. I'm excited that my studies have started. I've got industrial biotechnology to do as well, which is all to do with microbes. And there's, actually, let's just have a squeeze. Where's the subjects? Here we go, week 1. It's more microbial growth, sterilization of air, processing, chemicals to do with brewing, vinegar, secondary metabolite production, streptomycin. So that's why I did it. Single cell production. There it is, week 9. There's going to be some lectures on and that's bacteria. others as well, but more so I'm just very stoked on that. And also in lecture 34 in the bio section has a full lecture on spirulina, and I culture spirulina. So that's going to be pretty amazing too. So I'm pretty excited to go and watch that. Go and watch that. Go and do those lectures and then share the information in it. Yeah. But for today, I'm a bit stuck. It's been 5.5 minutes. If you're listening, can you suggest something that I can, some plant science or science microbiology stuff would be pretty cool. Can elaborate. I can put something into the search engine and then I can show some slides on it. That would be enjoyable. And for those others who probably know why it's not going on, it's because of the cricket. There's a cricket final at the moment going on in Guyana, Global Super League. Who is it, you ask? Rajasthan Royals versus Guyana. Amazon Warriors. Go Guyana. But I don't want to get off topic. Not that there is a blooming topic. I suppose if today has no topic, how about next week? I'll make it on that, on the microbes in agriculture again. Genetic Memory Farm says, I didn't realise that Australia has such a big rabbit problem. Makes me wonder how that got to be because they aren't from here. They are... There was a big problem in the mid-50s, in the middle of last century, where they just bred like anything. They must have got out. People would have bought them in the boats to come over, and it just got out of proportion. Things were just crazy. So everybody was mandatory and had to put up the rabbit fences, which were the ones that they dug in, and they were very, very long. Yeah, I'll show you. At least we can talk about something. It's not plant science, it's all science. Come on, share screen. Sharing, good. This gigantic fence got put up, you can see here, goes in the distance, right in the mega distance. It was hundreds of miles. Goes from one coast, the Southern Ocean, to the Indian Ocean in Western Australia. There you go. Look at the fence. The wire looks way better than the posts, but I had to do it out of something. The rabbits could only, they couldn't get under it. They couldn't get through it. An 1884 cartoon. This is. Yes. Cost built. But yeah, anyway, it was a problem back then, and it's settling down, but they still are around, and I don't want any problems either, because we've got to look after our organic pastures, because the rabbits, they come from outside, and a lot of people use chemicals, and the rabbits might have disease or pests in them, more than likely, because the animals aren't usually clean and free. So there's a lot of problems that you can get from letting the feral animals onto your own property. There's even more so. Oh, I don't want to go and do that. Yeah, we've got to build the pastures. It's hard to build it. It's so easy for things to kill it and eradicate it. Glyphosate, things just bang, wipes everything out. Other events also do that, so we've got to build it. That's what I like to do. How did rabbits come to Ausland? Rabbits were introduced from Europe for sport hunting, and as a food source. I'm not much of a fan of sport hunting. I think it's quite terrible. Go to a bloody computer if you want to do that. Share screen. because it happens lots around here, that's all. I don't like it. There you go. Rabbits were introduced for sport hunting and as a food source. 24 wild rabbits. 24 has gone to cause massive problems because there's no real predators. There's maybe dingoes, but you don't see many dingoes. There might be foxes. There's not many foxes. Not enough for the way that rabbits reproduce. So that's how it came about. Oh, gosh. Wouldn't it be terrible to walk up to your dam and see this? Holy mackerel. My dam's rad. Oh, look at them all, neck to neck, and even one's waiting behind. Oh. Oh, rabbit fur, anybody? 1859. Gee whiz. Oh, they first arrived back in the early settlers in 1788. Because it was 1770 when the first settlers came to Australia and started to ruin the lands and the people control the numbers. They've got myxomatosis. It's a disease they put in it. There it is. And it causes blind in the rabbits. And you see it around here. Most of the rabbits still got it. It's bloody terrible. The rabbits are pretty small compared to the rabbit size on Vancouver Island. It's not real big rabbits from what I've seen here. Oh, really? Look at this merino sheep, cane toads. There you go. That was a failure. Anyway, that's how they got here. Genetic Memory Farm says, yeah, sounds like purposely infected those rabbits with 2 different diseases, loose and biocontrol, RHD and myxomatosis. Yes, it's quite common for them to catch it and give them the disease, then release it. And the only thing is those diseases are in the rabbits and they're in the population and they get broken down and stuff like that. Now, I don't want those types of things on my property, on my areas that I'm going to create organic pastures. It's hard. If I do get something, I had to bury a fox a while ago. I did it right down the bottom corner on the slope of the land, which goes out. So if anything was coming out of it, it would be taking the lands and going out, following gravity, if you know what I mean. It'd be good to do a biocontrol one on creating the thing that you wanted to do, Genetic Memory Farms, you wanted to do biocontrol on entomology, on insects, on breeding up ladybugs, for instance. That'd be good. Maybe we could do that live even. Just a suggestion. Genetic Memory Farm says, for plants, I am curious your thoughts about commercially greenhouse growing tomatoes in colder North American climates. Doable? I assume you are like autos and have a set lifespan of production. Well, you can keep tomatoes going and like have mother plants, for instance, and just take the little ones off that and keep pumping them out, so to speak. And it's a big cost thing. So it depends if you can set up a greenhouse that's cheap enough for you have to do a business plan. So you do a business plan of 5 years of production of tomatoes. So you look around and you see how much they're getting for sale, then how much they're getting for wholesale. You go, all right, they're getting this much per pound. So you put that in. How many pounds do I need to produce to make this shed price be 0? And you'll throw it off over 5 years and you want to make your money back after 5 years. So you've got to do a costings, and that's just one example in your business plan. Because I've done entrepreneurship and I've had a few businesses in the past, so I know a bit about setting up businesses. So that you've got to put in your pros and cons and see if you can make your money back and if it's cost effective in your area. You might find it's mega cheap for building products and you can put it up within no time and it costs nothing Bang, that's a rad idea for a good business to do that. But like in Australia, it's top dollar for building products. So more than likely you'll have to get a shed that's already established, as an example. And it's going to be the future is going to be, because the planet's warming. So more areas are going to be opening for productions where they haven't been doing it in the past. So that is the future. So what you've talked about is the future, mate. So in colder climates, you can go into the middle, maybe Idaho mightn't be doing potatoes as much. They might be doing tomatoes soon, because the climate's going to be getting warmer and the seasons are going to be slowly. They'll still get their cold snaps, but in general, the temperature's gone up 2 degrees Celsius. What's that? Probably 7F over the period of since industrialization, the last 150 or 200 years. So that's the future. You're dead right on that one. That's just really it. Just getting it. And one thing with businesses is you don't want to go in all hell for leather at the start. You go in, make your money back. So you'll set up a business plan for, say, 2 years to have made your money back. But you've got to be realistic and not be trying to, otherwise you'll get to the 2-year mark and you won't even be close to it, because the figures you've done has doctored them up. You have to be realistic with what's going on. And then after you get a payment in, like for instance, I do garlic. So for instance, with my garlic, I think I've set it up for 3 or 4 years, and then I'll be getting money back. Then at that time is when I'll be reinvesting that money back into the business. For instance, buying a tractor, bang, that'll be the first bit. Then the next year will be buying something else, which will be relevant for the business. And before you know it, I've invested nothing. So 5 years ago, I started with virtually nothing, and I'm not out of pocket. So that's the thing. You can't borrow money. So you want your business to pay for everything. So set it up in such a way that you're going to get the money to return in your business plan, and it's going to be successful. I'm open to help people do that with plant science, soil science, microbiology stuff. If anybody is interested, I would help them, because the future is in those 3 things: plant science, soil science, and microbiology. And all my stuff that I've done has been successful. There's been no losses because I put realistic business plans in practice. You ring up wholesalers, you get their prices, you see if they're interested, what a wholesale price is. You'll find it's virtually nothing. They'll give it away. And then you'll go on another option, which actually I'm not going to tell you that bit, because it's a good way to guarantee you're going to get your money back. But Genetic Farms goes on to say, that would be awesome. Ladybug ranching. It's, again, mate, it's biocontrol's the future. For people to have more options to get these products, for them to try and test, they'll find that they will work for them. And there's only a few people doing it at the moment. So the more earlier, the sooner companies or folks like yourself can get started into it, and you're only going to start small. You do 1 or 2 bugs at start off with, for instance, ladybugs, and you might get, what do they like to eat? Aphids. So you'll go and get roses, and you might put rose bushes out and make the rose bushes sick, and in a little tiny miniature greenhouse, let's say 4 foot by 4 foot by 6 foot high, and then the aphids will be culturing the ladybugs. As a fast example without laying it right out. But if you've got space and into doing that, also considering climate, because remember in the northern parts, this mostly goes to North America, in the North America and Canada, where I lived for 5 years, hello to all the awesome Canadians, the bees have got to be brought in each year. Because you can't leave the beehives out. So they've got to bring them in. So you've got to consider that with your heating builds. So with whatever thing you've got to get, unless you've got nice indoor scenarios, or underground even better, because underground holds constant temperatures, so you can work with that. In China, they have broccoli farms underground. and that are highly successful. So if you've got any mine shafts or anything like that, bang, deck them out, mushrooms. Sort of a bit off topic. I like this, the way we're going though. Ladybug ranching. And to set it, but yeah, I'd be willing to do that, mate, if we wanted to set that up somehow. Genetic Memory Farms. We could have a live here, go through some paperwork if you want, and some other ways to start the business, and I could elaborate on what I've just talked about. We can go through some slides, because I've got slides on setting up businesses. I don't really want to go into business stuff because that's a bit boring. But the other pictures of growing, I've got other industrial ways to do it on the cheap. Because remember, my studies is in India, and they show that cheaper way to set the business up or to get your agricultural establishments going, or they got the USA way, or if you got money. And me, I haven't got money, so I appreciate the ways that you got to be more labor intensive and maybe build them yourself. But I appreciate those ways. And what are those? Yeah, that'll do. Ramble. GMF's written. That is what I did with my bakery. We got to profitability from debt in 90 days. I also would like to get into black soldier fly Frass to go along with making worm castings. Oh, interesting you actually said that. I can very elaborate on that. Oh, he's got another comment. Genetic Farm says, does the broccoli use electric light or reflective tubes or fiber optic to get sunlight underground? Well, I'd set it up so I've got those big round barrel things. They got those reflective tubes, like you said. You just have a sunlight. Oh, I'll give an example. Round reflective tube. Get that. Share screen. No. Share screen. These ones. So, skylight flexi shaft. Whatever it is. But yeah, them. So you put it up under your skylight, have that up the top, and then that you can bend it over here and down, and it bounces light in through it, and believe it or not, it's really, really effective. I'd set up a few of them. I'd make mine, probably, because I'd make them maybe 3 foot round, pretty big. That's only 1 foot. What else did you say? Oh, the broccoli tubes. I don't really know what their lighting source is. I see. Broccoli. Yeah, see if there's any other images. Not yet, still searching. Oh, there's a couple of little examples. Have a squiz at. See this one? Big dome thing. That's professionally done. This one, they've just decked out those vertical towers. Looks like a lot of LED lights. It's pretty funky. But not really much information. But yeah, if it was me on that question, I'd be trying to get as cheap as possible. So I'd be grabbing it from outside as much and then supplementing it indoors. Oh, you'd like to get into black soldier fly Frass. Well, Frass is like the dead bodies of them, the carcasses. So they've got good chitin in their cells, in their walls of their bodies is good. It's like a diatomaceous earth type of scenario. They've also got their DNA can break down with nitrogen and phosphorus in it, so there's also good use for that. And there's also the microbes that come along with it. So that's what Frass is. Let's see what it's spelled differently. Frass is a term used to describe the excrement of insects, particularly those that bore into wood or are involved in insect farming. See, isn't it good to double check things? Just as I can see in the comment there. It's a term used, there you go. I was wrong. See, I don't know everything. So it is essential for insect poop. So yeah, the insect poop. Wow, that's even better. The poop, so that's a manure from bugs. Nutrient rich. There must be a study. Oh, I can go to Frass on this. It's quite reliable usually. What sort of nutrients do you have? Other names: guano, feces, chitosan. Doesn't really say much there. Yeah, it's top dollar. It's very handy for organic growers. It's another supplement. Nutrient rich. Well, what nutrients is in Frass? Frass nutrients. Yeah, the nitrogen. Yes. Really. Not believing that. Just because someone said it is, you don't believe that. The studies are generally pretty good. Highlights. Microchemical and biochemical features of Frass. Heat treatment for Frass. Plant nutrient features of Frass. Different types. Let's go for the nutrients. Plant available nutrients as high as ammonia, nitrate, and phosphorus. So it's some DNA stuff. Yeah, where's potassium? It said before. See on the search, it said potassium. Nothing in this blooming thing. Just the 2 DNA constituents and the microbes. So that's what they function. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Let's get nutrients. Yeah, it's how they make it stuff. Plant ammonium, nitrate, and phosphorus. There you go. So it's rad organic, plus the microbes. The microbial respiration biomass, no. Microbial counts. I don't know what the microbes in their poo are. There's some there. Salmonella, no, we don't want those two. Tryptophan. Oh, tryptone. Sorry, Jesus. Should be a bit better, shouldn't I? That's how they put the culture them up. Soil inoculated trial, no statistics. We've got over results, materials. Frass exhibits multi-level variations depending on the insect species. Oh, there you go too. That's pretty important, isn't it? Black soldier fly. That was what you said. BSF. No, it's GMF, isn't it? Jeez. Bit of a joke. So yeah, I'd go through stuff like this if I was getting into it and read thoroughly what it says, how you did it, what you needed for the outcomes, which one produced more, see if it was suitable for my environment. Variations among Frass samples were primarily attributed to insect species with minimal influence in heat treatment. BSF Frass demonstrated the highest ammonia concentrations. Sweet. Anyway, I'll put that in the search engine. Oh, isn't the grass their poop? Yes, I was wrong. And black soldier fly can digest anything, even bones. Wow, it's the pig of the insect world, because pigs can do that. My voice is sore for a sec. I just got to grab one of these. Yeah, the insects really are something that needs to be done more in society for them to be available for us. There's only a couple of spots in Australia. I don't know if you looked in the States how many spots there are you can get your biocontrol. There's actually, here you go. There's one only. There's one in Canberra. He makes Stenonemma felti beneficial nematodes. One type only. He cultures. He runs a factory. It's a small factory, but because I went and visited it, because I needed some, and I thought to myself, look how big this is. For he's got one nematode only. And I said to him, do you got some other products? He said, no. All he had was a pretty large looking, it'd hold about 20 or 30 cars. And then in the middle was a cold room where he used to do all his work in the middle. I thought to myself, this is pretty easily set up. So, yeah, it's highly possible to do by one individual, make a large business out of it with niche market. Organics is the future. And if you can get into it now, by the time it's taken off next decade, you'll already be there. Companies will be looking to buy your company. Because that's what sort of happens these days. Companies want to own all the companies within one realm so they can take a monopoly of the market, a price fix, etc. But yeah, so I like this chat we're having. GMF says, I wonder if the presence of chitinase in BSF Frass would allow us to dilute it into an active biological insecticide. Yes, it would, mate. But, hang on. Oh, that would create value-added products with a profitable. That's what you do possibly yourself. Well, chitinase is the enzyme that breaks down things, and it breaks down cell walls of insects. So you could put chitinase and spray it on cell walls, and it breaks it down. That's what that enzyme does. It would react with water and start to dilute it and make it into a mush, break it down. So that'd be great experiments. So yes, I don't know if you'd need a carrier solution. You might have to add a little bit of, for instance, rubbing alcohol, isopropanol, if it would carry it well, because you want to make sure it's going to be stored for a long period of time and that it's not going to sit at the bottom. So when you spray it, does it do what it says it's going to do? But that's a great idea. So see how other businesses can come from one business in organics. People think down the track, there's no money to be made in it. There's huge money to be made in it right now and down the track. So, yeah, I like that. Need you up here to ask some. Do you want to come up here and ask some questions about it? Genetic Memory Farms. Well, if you do, put that there anyway. Share referral. Because it interests me, and I'd like to help people out to have successful businesses in there, anything to do with organics. You will be profitable. You will have success if you don't go in over your head. You can structure it so small, especially like these microbes. You can do beneficial bacteria Or do the biocontrol. Do one insect. Do like that fella in Canberra. Eco Grow. ECO Grow. He's a nice fella. And he's got good prices for him. He works with the CSIRO. But yeah, that's the future. It interests me too, but I thought, oh, I can't do everything. I'll just focus on garlic for the period, and I might get into doing plant science in garlic with garlic seed, true garlic seed, TGS it's called. Gee, today's stream's been a bit all over the shop with the rabbits, and then the biocontrol, Frass. At least I've got a couple of links so I can put down in the chat at the end of the stream. It's been up at 36 minutes. Thank you if you're still listening. And if you're still listening, put some suggestions in the chat. Jenny Mary Frown says, I can't jump on at the moment. Date night, but I definitely would like to discuss it. Garlic seed tea. Explain. No, not seed tea, just garlic seed, true garlic seed. Not many people garlic is a biannual, but the way they do it with cloves, it turns it into an annual, sort of like cloning. But the true garlic seeds are biannual, so it takes you 2 years. So that's why people don't plant seeds of garlic, and really you can't get them. The only person I've seen is in New Zealand doing it, and I'd like to make new varieties. I'd like to put genetic resistance into them. One of the varieties I've got, there's a microbe that it's actually what's the name of it? Can't think of it now. Get resistance for that in the seed. That wouldn't be too hard to do. Just play around with the different varieties. There's not many varieties coming out that are new because people aren't really doing that. They're content with the way that things are going. So I just want to play around with different stuff. Same like that, the seed I produce with broccoli and Brussels sprout on the same stem. Let's see. It's cool. But the new tea, yeah, that's about it. It's just plant science. It's free, virtually free, so you can just experiment. And that's what I like doing. Does this work? What happen if I do this with this? A lot of things actually works well. I'm surprised. And one of these hybrid plants, broccoli, Brussels sprout, broccoli sprouts, it's throwing seed out. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that too. So I just like the different types of things. That's cool. GMF says, like chives. Takes time to establish. Isn't broccoli and Brussels sprouts that way too? Only harvest the second year? No, they're an annual. You get them out. Actually, cauliflower, I think. We might have me here. All right, I'm going to check. Yeah, broccoli's an annual. All right. Collie. Yeah, it's an annual. While it's botanically classified as a biannual, meaning it has 2 years life cycle, it's usually cultivated as an annual for harvesting its edible head. And chives are really good. What was I going to do with chives? There's a reason why I had that on. I'm going to have a look back here. They're, where is it? I think it's their prebiotics. Is that right? Let me have a look here. Because that came up in a lecture, and I thought, I'm going to have to get some chives. And, oh, no, it's chicory. Yeah, chicory, sorry. See, it's close. I'm lucky I looked. So I'm not sure about, because prebiotics is to do with sleeping, because there's been some good studies in it relating to sleep, how to improve your sleep with food. I actually went through a good sleep study a few weeks ago, test with carbon dioxide, and the levels are going to be changed. That's a bit off topic. It's environmental science, though. And only harvest the second year. Yeah, so with my brassicas, that I harvest every year. And yeah, got some pretty good harvest too, actually. GMF says, I got 2 beds of chives and I use them to in everything. Regrows within a day or so after cutting, very efficient. Oh, cool. Chives, that oniony stuff. I'm not much of a cook, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I only cook twice a month. I don't put anything else fancy like that in. Chives or salt or pepper and stuff. That's not. No, I'll end up spoiling it. So I just have about 10 vegetables, rice and chicken. Different sauces I get from the shop. I cook twice a month. Yeah, and the plant science related to the garlic. There's always something that can be done about it, because it's a bit of a niche market. I'm finding with agriculture is so large, but yet the people focusing on plant science in agriculture is so low. So you folk can do all these fun stuff too with plant science, soil science, and microbiology, and possibly earn a living out of it. That's the bit I really would like, because I legitimately find it fun and interesting. So it'd be cool to earn money out of that one day, maybe. At least I'm staying in the right direction, doing all this study. So it's paying off, that's for sure. Making processes and things more easily. Regrows. That's cool. That might be, chives might be good if it regrows fast. You might have a very hybrid, vigorous cultivar, and that might be good for green manure. You might be able to plant it out in the field, because I've noticed I've got silver beet. Is that a brassica? No, it's not. Well, I've got a silver beet that's large, and I've produced the seeds from it, and I'll put it over a wide area. And now I can get this, it's quite a large area, and bits that die, bits that come back, and I'm happy to have that as kind of nearly like a green manure. The goats get in, they might eat some of it too, because there's quite a lot of it, and it feeds me. I got a bulk of it every fortnight when I cook. A big shopping bag full of it. Purple, dark green, real rad, healthy stuff. Oh, there's a comment. GMF says, I did prize choy and bok choy this year, brassicas. Lots of greens to use like spinach, and they pickle like sauerkraut. Pickled Chinese greens are hard to find here. Wow. That might be a niche market, mate. Pickled Chinese greens. Put it on the line or Etsy and see if there's anything on that. And if the price is like huge, and it's easy to do, if you can produce it for $1 or $2 a jar, and it's on there for $20 or $30 a jar, you might have found yourself another little niche area you can get into agriculture. These niche areas are going to be popping up lots in organics. And then to say it's organic, what? You just jump straight to the top of the queue. But it's easy to say it. So then it takes you 3 years to get the certification done. But that's possible. That sounds pretty good. Did you prize choy and bok choy? Sweet. Excuse me. I like these niche markets that can come of these businesses that we can have for ourselves. We can be our own boss. We can do experiments. It's not going to cost us anything. Outcomes might be sweet. Then we can start reproducing and going a little bit higher. And then if they work really well, you can expand. That's when you might have to get some money help, but might get a family investor instead of a bank investor. So it stays within your family. GMF says, people don't really eat beets, but they eat a hell of a lot of microgreens. I use them. I was looking at that as a business. And the seed stock are potentially expensive depending on times of the year and supplier. Yep, there's another example. But like you said, microgreens, it's too small and hard to make good money out of. Need something, well, you can do it, but it's a lot of input for not much output. So things that are pretty good too, like fruit, for instance. Have you noticed apples are nearly like 50 cents each, or mangoes might be $2 each, kiwi fruit might be $2 each. Those types of things can't be forgotten about, because the perennials, the fruit trees, they take care of themselves. You just leave it, you establish them, and then look after their soil, and they pretty much take care of themselves. Monitored for pest and disease, of course, and do some IPM and top dress, and there your fruit tree's done. I was going to do some kiwi fruit, telling you all my secrets, but because it's quite easily done. I started quite a few. I got some store-bought kiwi fruits, raised them, see what they're like, if they had any genetic resistances and stuff like that, then I can use them. I've got some couple of varieties, and yeah, it's good opportunity in agriculture, right? That's the bit I like about it. We can be our own boss. It's tough working with someone else. I've got problems with my body, pain problems and stuff like that, hands and arms, so I can stop whenever I want. So it makes it easier and stress is lower. We can all do that. You people listening can do that too. You say, but I live in a flat. Well, you still think of your area of interest, which fruit or veg you want to get into, and potentially look at closely spaces that aren't occupied. You might have a farmer you can drive to and use his land, a little bit of his land, as an example. It's harder, but you can still do it. Then you'll only be staying in that apartment for another few years and you'll have your own block. Agriculture can get you out onto your own space. And I'm not a real people person. I'm a plant and animal person. And I'm finding it helps me a lot better. I enjoy seeing all the kangaroos and stuff around and all that sort of thing, rather than people and noises and sirens and dramas. GMF says, if I lived in a city, I would totally sell microgreens to high-end restaurants. There you go. You'd at least try it. And if it didn't work, oh well, next. See, for you city people listeners, go down to your restaurants, if you're eating at that, and have a chat with your chefs and say, I'm interested in agriculture. Is there anything I can supply for you? Just ask your local shop chefs or managers those questions. And before you know it, I bet you'll get a bit of, oh, well, so-and-so, or, yeah, I'm finding it hard to get blah, blah, or, something like that. You might just from a few words, have just made yourself a business. Just by asking. And if they say no, oh, well, you tried. That's the bit I like about it. It's my motto. they say, no, well, you tried next. You gain some information or some out of that. Oh, no, how about, should I try someone else? Or what do you think I should do? Or, yeah, it's hard to work for yourself, but it's also rewarding when you don't have to put up with anything else, you know. Ugh. I've worked for myself at least half of my life, and I've been very fortunate for that as an electrician. But yeah, now as an organic plant scientist, it's even better. I understand all the principles and practices that go along with it and the nutritional side of it. So it's terrific. And the business side of it, it's all falling into place. I really like it. And now manipulating genes to do what you want, or transferring the genes to other plants. How cool is that? Making new hybrid varieties. It's fun as. And then the microbes coming into it. Microbes manipulate things. They do stuff for you. They supply nitrogen for free. What? I'm coming off on a bit of a ramp here. But yeah, I do enjoy the plant science, soil science, and microbiology, as you can tell. And if you guys and girls listening are interested in your own business, I'm sure I can help you out somewhat. You just start pumping the questions out like GMF is here, and I reckon he's already got a bit of an idea on which way he should go too. Which area of focus or interest is better or more profitable for his area. Because you can always do anything anywhere, but is it going to be profitable? And you don't want to work your blooming backside off to get nowhere. You just want to work a good 40 hours, 50 hours a week, and then try and turn off. So it's not as stressful as other people who own businesses. But yes, if you're interested, GMF, get on to me and we'll somehow have a chat somehow about do a live stream like this. We can just maybe discuss stuff in the background and I can record it, or we can do it live here and get some good results for you. Get it started. I'd love to see people that are interested in these topics succeed, and especially organic folk, I should add. Organic folk who are interested in these topics succeed, because they can only help the planet. If we can leave a better footprint from when we left, when we pass on, than when we are here, that's a pretty good job you've done, I reckon. That's what my motto is. Wherever I usually live, I usually try and leave a better footprint. Right. And if I'm going to ramble on. That's my other subjects I'm doing this semester. Environmental science. I'm doing that because one of the teachers, the professors, she taught me in microbial chemistry or plant chemistry. It was plant chemistry, yeah. And she was very easy to understand, so I thought I'd do this course in environmental science. Cell signaling, it's going to be interesting. Department of Biological Sciences. Quorum sensing, that'll be pretty cool. And the science of happiness. I'm finally doing it. I've been wanting to do that for years. The science of happiness. How interesting is that going to be? It only goes for 8 weeks. It's not a 12-week course like the others, but I'm stoked to do it. Can't wait. There's little tiny bits on, I don't know. I do get my sad times, of course. It's hard, but hopefully not for long. Change your mindset. I'm starting to ramble. I don't want to ramble. If you've got anything else to say, please put it in chat now, because we might end the stream. I might end the stream soon. I think today's been very good. I can reword it to rabbits. What else? Frass. Business ideas in agriculture. Yeah, that's probably a good one. So I said a few things like that. Some business ideas in agriculture. if you cool folk can hopefully make money out of it legally, wow, isn't that a cool thing? Work for yourself, expand, or sell the business. Well, thank you for listening still. 55 minutes. I think that's nearly close to an hour. We go the Guyana Warriors in the cricket. We'll go into that soon after this. I hope you're here next week. Maybe next week might be able to have another Q&A week, Q&A show, because I'm not really prepared for the agricultural microbes yet. And also on Monday is when my other two subjects for uni start, so I might be a bit busier. Oh, there's another comment. Seems like GMF says, seems like basil sprouts, Brussels sprouts, and beet sprouts are potentially solid options for microgreens. Can you breed for greater seed production? Yes. I know someone at Griffin at a seed supplier. Cool. Yes, can you? Yes, you sure can. Look for little in your selective breeding. You'd be looking at cultivars that come out and produce better without getting into it. But you can do breeding breeding techniques to increase seed production. Just might take you a little bit longer, and then you'll have the seeds that will can produce I don't know, 10% more or 20% more, for instance, or more this or more that. You can manipulate it to do whatever you want. I mean, not manipulate it. You will be selecting genetics that have those traits in them to do those outcomes for you. But it's possible. Sure is, mate. You can make them bigger. You can put shorter. You can bring, for instance, make ones that might go taller or produce more chlorophyll, and that's, you can do that through nanoparticles or adding that even on the seeds, inoculate the seeds. So a few different ways you can go with that for the seed science. Plant science. That's my area I know a fair bit about. So yes. And I just did my course on crop production. No, what's it called? Crop breeding. What was the blooming course called? I just did it. Crop breeding and plant biotechnology. Okay. I got 57% in that exam in the overall. So in that, it had a few different ways you could do it with your hybridizations, because if you didn't do it with inbreeding techniques, tissue culture is probably the go. I hope that helps with that, answering that, but it is possible, mate. It's awesome, isn't it? Plant science, soil science, and microbiology. So it's something, yeah, all this interesting. Entrepreneurial stuff in agriculture. Righto, I think that's about it. So get on to me, GMF, or anyone else through the week if you've got anything you'd like to discuss on the show. You can come up in the show even. We can just discuss it. That'd be cool. But I like the way you're thinking, mate. GMF is going to be having some sort of agricultural business, I think, down the track. Some organic agricultural business he's going to be very successful in. Just like his bakery. Thanks, everybody, for listening. That's about it. I hope to see you all next week. Press the like button if you liked it. And please share this with others and get them into the stream too. That would be a way that you could help me. Because I like helping others. I get a bit of a kick out of it at the end of the show if I've helped someone. Like today, I can be a little bit happy that I've helped GMF, I think, with his just getting and directing me into businesses that he might be interested in. So the way that you can help me is just by sharing with others. We can get more of an interaction with the comments. GMF says, you are, oh, good on you, mate. You are too kind, brother, he says. Good on him. I like the nice words as well. Even the constructive criticism, I don't mind, because I can learn from that, as long as it is constructive and not directly like others happened a few years ago. GMF says, I always enjoy talking with you and find your input enlightening. Rad. Good on you, mate. Hope everyone else does too. I'm sure they would, or they wouldn't listen. So thanks for everybody also, as well as GMF, for giving me your ears and your time. And I'll see you all through the week and next week. So happy breeding, happy growing, and good health to you all. Bye-bye.